Alright, back again, Luke here. And today what I thought we could do is take a look at what is inside this box here from Amazon. This is something that just came out and just arrived today, so I figured we could open this up and check some of that. And we'll see if this is what I think it is. You can see a box inside another box. But this is something that some people, I believe, I mean, you can tell from the title screen what this is, but many people decided not to get it because they thought, you know, it was a bit expensive, and I totally understand. I thought it was more of kind of like a gimmicky type thing, and figured today we could take a look at it and see what it looks like here in person. It's well packaged nonetheless. Oh, interesting. Okay, guys, as you can see here, this is the Game Gear Micro. This is the big window. Some of these packages here, as far as the different sets, they came with different things. Like this one came with the big screen. Other ones came with like a mock-up of a gray-colored system, but it didn't actually work. So let's go ahead and pop this thing open. Don't want to waste too much time here. You can see it's in its own little plastic baggie. Show you guys what this thing comes with. Alright, plastic. And it is what it is. It is a magnifying glass. The big window for the very small setup here, or system. And it looks like these will just clip in on the side. So we'll kind of put those aside here for right now. We'll try and make a little pile, I suppose. Oh my gosh, these things are really interesting looking. The mini versions here of the original sized Game Gears, and they all have their individual box. I wound up picking up the 4-box set, and each one has a certain set of games on it. As you can see here, it has a 4-in-1. And different colors have different games. So let's go ahead and open up one of these ones. Let's try the classic one. See how we can open this up. It's actually sealed. Oh, geez. Everything on these things is sealed. But don't want to waste too much time just going over the box. As you can see, just a little bit on the back here. These are the games that are in it. Just figured we could open this up and take a look at what's inside. The important parts here. Comes with a little instruction manual. Interesting. And there we go. This little guy here. Let's see if we can pop this out. Wow, that is super small. Look at that. Jeez. As you can see, it's got a USB port up at the top. This is probably for the charging. It does have a headphone jack, which is kind of interesting as well. I didn't think they could fit that in there. And it does have the volume control. The back of this thing looks like this. What is inside here? Oh, this is where the batteries go. So this is not powered by lithium-ion battery. I thought it would have been powered by that, but looks like it's going to take AA's or AAA's. Let me see. I've got a couple of AAA's here. Let's see if this will work. Looks like it's going to be the AAA's. Go ahead and close this guy up. Good thing I had those laying around. It's a bit tricky to close here. This is not closing very nicely. Wow, that's super tight. Okay, let's go ahead and flip this on and check some of that. Well, there we go. It takes a little bit of time here to start up. Game Gear Micro. Do you have to hit the start button? Or is this a loading screen? Oh, nice. Okay. So by pressing left or right, these are, left will bring you all the way here to the first one with Sonic. Let's turn this down just a little bit. And pushing right, you can select the other games here. I don't think up and down do anything. But this is very, very, wow. This feels a little bit flimsy, almost like it's going to pop right off here. But let's go ahead and start with the original Sonic here. Oh. See if we can turn the volume up just a bit more. Hit the old start button. This is surprisingly, seems like it's surprisingly playable. But that screen is amazingly small, but it looks really good. And it is playable. Wow. I'm really impressed. I didn't think it would be this playable. Where are we at? But yeah, as you guys can see here, I mean, it looks really crisp, and game plays really well. It's not something where you'd want to sit here and play this for long hours at all, by any means, but I'm not sure if this, let's see here, if there's a way to skip and go back, pressing down and holding anything, like holding the 3 buttons. Nope. Looks like you have to do a hard reset with this one. There's not really a soft reset for it. Interesting. This is really interesting. Ooh, it has some screws on it. Tell you what, let's do this. Let's take it apart. Just so we can take a look at what's inside. I don't know if I have a screwdriver laying around here. Oh, it looks like I do. Almost like I was intending on taking this apart. This is really, really difficult to get these in and out. Let's get these batteries out here and take a look at the inside. There is 4 of these, but we're just going to take a look at the one. Maybe let's move this down just a little bit to this level here, where we can get a better view as to what's going on. And go ahead here and remove the screws. It looks like there's just 4 screws in here. We'll put this in our container. But I'm really impressed with the build quality. It does look pretty interesting. It looks pretty neat from the outside here, and the buttons, like I said, like the D button, or the D-pad here, feels just a little bit loose, but it's not too bad. And their magnetic screwdriver. One more. I didn't really expect to do this, but since we're here, let's see, it looks like the screen, yep, is held on by a ribbon cable here. Looks like we can just pop it right off. Take the buttons out here. Well, got the D-pad flying out. Start button, and let's try to snap this guy off. Oh, and on the corner here, this is a little bit tricky. This is where the speaker's at. And the speaker looks like it's kind of glued in there, so that's going to be a little bit more difficult. The buttons are kind of falling everywhere. But a very kind of simplistic design here. We've got the membrane here for the start buttons and select button, as well as the D-pad. Take that off. And our on-off switch here, which just pops right out. I don't know if this one, oh, it looks like maybe we can get at the back here. See. Kind of has a similar kind of circuit board layout to the original. I mean, in terms of, you know, just the design, it just looks like it. But, let's see, there we go. And if you guys take a look here, you can see the processing unit. Let's see if we can take a look at what that is. Go ahead and lift this up. See what's underneath there. For all of you guys out there who love the technology, so it looks like it's an F1. Is that 0200S? But yeah, you can see how small this processor is for this, and it just, you know, fits right in here. And you can see the leads here for the speaker are kind of soldered in there. But original size volume pot, it doesn't look like that's changed much, and this is actually, it's a full-sized volume jack for this as well. Everything else is just quite simplistic. I mean, just kind of all crammed in there. It's pretty neat though. And this LCD, wow, I mean, it looks like it's a pretty big LCD, and then they've just programmed it maybe just to use the center portion there, because that's obviously a lot bigger than, oh, maybe, yeah, I don't know. Maybe that is using the full size, I'm not sure. But definitely the ratio here, the aspect ratio, looks a little bit different, so maybe they're just using right inside here. If we were to pull the screen out, I wonder if we would see any lines in the background, or, you know, or on the side here. It's going to be a little bit. I have a pretty good idea that I'm going to wind up breaking something if I keep messing around with this. Is there any way to pull that up? Or is that glued in there? It'd be interesting to see how much of the screen is actually used. If we can... I don't want to wind up cutting the screen out or scratching it, but I am curious. Doesn't seem like this one really wants to come out. It seems like it's stuck in there. Well, maybe. Wow. This is very, very, very fragile here. I don't think I'm going to be able to get to that. I think all I can do is just remove the back piece here, which is just, you guys can see underneath there a little bit of how the ribbon cable is kind of connected there, but it looks like it's going to be pretty much impossible to get the full screen out here. But very interesting how they got this set up here. I just figured we could take a look at this thing in action and see what it looks like on the inside. But there you have it. Let's go ahead and see how difficult it is to put this thing back together now. Just the funny things that you wind up doing on camera here. There's our start button. Put this one on last, the on-off switch. These buttons don't seem to have any specific orientation here to fit them on there, but yeah, it is a, well, maybe they do. It's hard to tell. They seem to be resting kind of like, as you can see there, they're not really fitting all the way down, but maybe that's just the way that the design is supposed to be. Take a look there. Pop these this membrane back on, like so. Get this one on here. But yeah, at least you guys can see what it looks like on the inside. Nothing too spectacular, but let's see. The D-pad definitely has a specific orientation here. It's not going to go in. There we go. Without that being on there like so. And I'm going to have to actually put this in the back piece first. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys, like when when you're younger, wound up getting something new and ripping it apart and taking a look at what the inside looked like here. And yeah, that's kind of what we're doing in this case as well. If we can find all the parts. What did I do? Oh, there we go. Super difficult to see here. Just put that back there. And once again, we'll put this membrane back on. This is what you get when you have off the cuff kind of videos. No real planning involved. Slide that back in there. And the switch, I think the switch can just slip back on. Doesn't look like it kind of connects in there too far. There we go, that should be that. And we should be able to just pop this back together and play some of that. I hope so, hopefully. Let's see. If I can get this angle right. And stuff goes flying. No! 10 or 15 minutes of fumbling around just to get this thing back on. Yeah, that's not going to go back together so easily, is it? So if you guys out there are planning on taking this thing apart, be careful, because this ribbon cable is not the easiest to get back on. It just seems like it's just a little bit too tight there. Okay, there's that. Let me get the membranes here that fell out and grab the button that dropped off as well. So, yeah, they have these little tabs on the side here. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop those back on. You can call this guy fumbling around with micro game gear parts, trying to put it back together. This is actually a lot more difficult than I expected. I thought it would have kind of popped back together quite easily and you could just kind of move on from there, but alright, well there's that. And our on-off switch. These parts are extremely tiny, so I'm sure there's somebody out there just like, I just want to see if you can put it back together and it'll still work, because it looks like it's all messed up right now. And it is messed up. Might have to just cut and edit the video out here, because it's actually taking way longer than what I expected it would be. Yeah. Well, what I'm going to do is I think I'm just going to cut and put this thing back together, because this is not working. So I'll see you guys here in a little bit. Alright, so instead of making you guys watch me mess around with this thing for a long time, I decided just to cut there and put the Game Gear back together. It is tricky to get those membranes back inside without flipping this thing, because as soon as you tip it on its back, the buttons come out. When you tip it forward, the membranes fall off. So it's a bit of a balancing act here, but let's see if I wind up destroying this thing. I haven't put this back together yet, but we will find out if I did or not. So let's say it's already on. Well, at least the screen's back on. Yay! And it does have quite a bit of loading, as I mentioned before, so there we go. Oh, okay, and then you can see the little screen there. And let's say, can't tell where the, okay, that's the options. Actually, for the options menu, can we set this thing to anything? Okay, 2 button or 1 button. Okay. And this is to erase the data, so it does have saved data inside it, which is kind of interesting. But what's this? Staff credits. Wow. Okay, so you can see the staff credits inside here. Everybody who was part of the project. And this is all the programming code. Wow. Interesting. And it shows all the licensing stuff on the background or in the bottom. It's free software, so if you distribute copies of this, wow. So maybe they're making this so you can actually reprogram it, which I wouldn't be surprised to see. You know, eventually you're probably going to wind up seeing many of these systems with multiple games on it or different games on it. Very interesting. Interesting that Sega would have that. So one more small little thing I wanted to share with you guys is something kind of neat here. Just playing around with some of these buttons. Let's see if we turn this down just a little bit here. You'll notice that all of these boxes are kind of facing forward, but if you go ahead and press button number 1, it actually puts them on the end, which is kind of cool. I mean, it's really something super simple, and it's difficult to see on the side there, but there's the front picture, and then there are the ones on the side. But lots of little neat little features, I suppose, for the system itself. But nonetheless here, just another small little look at this. I guess we could try a little outrun here, see how this works. See if this plays all right. It's super difficult to even try and play through this one. Let's start it up. Magic sound, please. There we go. It's pretty neat. It would be cool if this thing could hook up to the TV for sure. But I don't think it, you know, it'll ever be able to do that. Just a little bit of a wish, I suppose. Go, go, go. This is impossible to play. But yeah, as you guys can see here, it's pretty neat. Just look at that though. Look at those graphics. At least on this small screen. Like there's no bleeding, no breaking up at all. It's just really, really crisp. So anyway, I just want to share that part with you as well. Now it's all back together with no problems. So we'll go ahead and continue the video from here. See you guys in a bit. The other ones here. And actually I gotta cut this open. This one is the yellow one here. same kind of situation. I got our similar instruction booklet. Yeah, this one is stuck in there. Quite good. I don't think we're going to strip this one down just because it's a pain to get back together, but at least we can take a look at some of the games on it. And getting these batteries in and out is definitely a chore here, so pop these out and get them in the other one. It's not easy to get these out. I was really surprised that they didn't decide to go lithium ion, because that would have been probably the easiest way to go. Maybe it's a lot cheaper just to do this. But yeah, let's see. Put this one in here. Got our IKEA batteries for those of you who were wondering. Yeah, pop this guy on here. Got some dust on the screen, but yeah, for some of these sets, there was another one that had a gray or a silver, a transparent one, and a silver one. I think there were a couple of different ones. That's actually quite loud. There we go. A couple of transparent ones that were just the case only. There wasn't anything that you could use them for. They were just mock-ups, but you could definitely take the innards out of that and switch them out with the other one. But let's see. We got some Puyo Puyo and Shining Force here. Let's see. Let's take a look at Puyo Puyo. It has a little bit of background on it, like when the game was created, which is kind of neat. Let's start it up. Game start. It's neat that it does have the save ability in it. This is the Puyo Puyo Adventure. Oh, right. It's like the RPG version. This one's kind of neat. If we go back to the beginning, I wonder if it will actually have the same kind of setup where we could look at the, I would assume, the different developers and things like that. I don't think these would be different from each other, but I could be wrong. Let's go up here. Yeah, staff credits. Same thing. Yeah, you can scroll down. Check that out. Yep, same thing. Yep. Yeah, but that's a little bit of a look at what these things are. They are basically kind of display pieces. I mean, although they are usable, it's not something that you would really want to spend a lot of time playing and sit down and play for long hours at a time. I think this would definitely become very, very difficult, kind of eye strain, and it would have its toll on your fingers as well. Those are a couple of them. There's the yellow one. We still have the other two to open up, but a lot of the same, I suppose. We've got the red one here. This one has the Last Bible series, and has Game Gear Shinobi. Let's see. Get this open. Ta-da. Sorry guys, this is really kind of off the cuff. Figured we could just kind of take a look at these ones and see how they look, how they perform. They are quite intricate little guys, and very very cool looking, to say the least. But they are they are just gimmicky. And the loading and stuff, it is a little bit long here, but I would say that for programmers out there who'd like to kind of put in custom firmware, it should be really easy through there. It seems like all of the volume settings are preset here. Game Gear Shinobi. But I'm really impressed with the screen. The screen just looks really, really good. Very sharp, very vivid. But for the price, these things are going for about $200 for a full set of 4, or about $50 each. So for some people, I mean, if you pick up one, I think you'll be good. Just choosing which one you want, whatever color you want. But eventually, I think if you do get the custom firmware, you won't have to worry about anything. You'll just be able to play and put on whatever games you want. But just by itself, it is pretty neat. It's hard to show it through the camera here. It's hard to even play through the camera. But there's our red one. And let's go ahead and turn this off. The screen size and everything fits in really, really well. It doesn't, hang out off the side. Like with the original Game Gear, you could see a bit of a border around the side. With these ones, you don't seem to be able to see any border. It's just perfectly fit. And this one here, go ahead and this will be our last one. This is the blue one. And this one has Sonic and Tails, Puck Puck Panic. It has Gunstar Heroes on it. So... And once again, we'll just put these guys in here and take a look at that. Not a fully in-depth look at what these machines have on them, but just a little bit of a look here. It makes me wonder how much the battery life is, how long that would last, but... Come on. And the intro music here, it's all the same, so... Our Gunstar Heroes, a little bit of a background on it. Good old Treasure. Start it up here. But yeah, some of this text is so small. I mean, it's just really, really difficult to see. Let's give it a shot here. This one's going to be a little bit more tricky because the the finger positioning here for both buttons. I mean, one button, not too bad. Two buttons, this is a little hard to deal with. It's a little bit more tricky here to... But yeah, it's neat. I mean, it is gimmicky. But yeah, it's a little bit tricky to there we go. Bit tricky to use both of them here. But nonetheless, guys, just want to share with you a little bit of a look at what the Game Gear Micro looks like here. And a set of these guys, not too bad. Not too bad at all. But you're probably going to wind up having them sit on a shelf or, just bring them out from time to time to show people something kind of neat. But that's about as far as it's going to go, I think, with these ones. Nonetheless, if you guys stuck on this long, then fantastic. But like always, I'll put up another video here soon. So thanks for watching. Put this one here. Let's see if we can... This one is... snap on like so. We have to pop this one on like here and here. Big window on the bottom. Does it snap on first? Maybe it snaps on here first, so we'll snap it on. Leave that one there. Let's leave it play. Oh, that's a little bit of a tight fit. Okay, there's the top part. Put in the bottom one here. Just kind of slips in like so. Bam, there we go. And let's pop this on the top. And there we go. I suppose it's a little bit better here, but it's still, it's not really the monitor that's the difficult part. It's the buttons that you have the most trouble with. I don't know if you guys can even see that well. I know it's kind of tricky for me even to say this, but yeah, I think that's where we'll leave it. But yeah, once again, if you guys are interested in picking these up, I would probably just recommend picking up one of them. There's no real need to pick up the full set unless you want to have something to display. It's just kind of like a display set. Because other than that, they are essentially going to be able to, I think in the future, be able to get modded or the firmware switched around on it. So it wouldn't matter what color you get or what machine you get, you'll be able to kind of switch around, put your own games on it. But yeah, that's about all for me for right now. Like always, I'll put up another video here soon. So thanks for watching. Watching some Game Gear Micro opening and disassembly action.